occasionally I'll get people asking me if I think we'll have another civil conflict within the United States. And the answer is an obvious, 100% certain answer. And that is yes, of course, absolutely. How could we not have another civil conflict in the United States? Some people are shocked by that, but I don't know why they would be. Here's what I mean. First, I guess you have to define what a civil conflict is. I hate to compare it to the first Civil War or the Revolutionary War, which the Revolutionary War was not a civil war. It was a country fighting for independence from another country. So that is different. A civil conflict is something that happens internal to a country, two sides of the same country. So, yes, the United States had the Civil War, and we will have another one because of two reasons, really. And they both focus on one thing, and that is history. The two pieces of history are every empire eventually falls. That's one. The second reason is because no pivotal countries in the world still have the same government they had when they started. Those are two little pieces of history, and I'll try to explain them. Yes, the United States is an empire. Now, it isn't a military force empire. We weren't an empire based on the fact that we conquered a whole bunch of other countries. Nope, not that. But we are based on ideas. We're an empire of ideas. A lot of those are freedom, liberty. A lot of those are technology. We've created this, that, and the other. We proliferated computers, traveled into space, technology. We've done a lot for the world, and a lot of the world benefits from American history, empire. The fact that the United States was here has led to a lot of technological changes throughout the world. We are an empire of ideas, no doubt about it. We have exported our ideas around the world. We've changed the world based on our mere presence. It's been the same for other countries. It's been the same for Italy. It's been the same for Britain. All those countries were empires. The world followed Rome, or the world followed Britain. And yet, look where they are now. The United States can't be the best forever. It can't be the top empire forever. Something will eventually change, and something has to change. That's history. The United States will likely split because of a civil conflict. We're going to have one. There's no way around it. Obviously, you can't have the same government forever. We are a federal government. The federal system that we have is failing. We have a lot of people with ideas. They don't all want to be led by the federal government. We're all starting to realize the people in charge of the federal government are growing more and more corrupt. Nobody wants to live with that forever. The federal government is attempting to change what it is. It is the natural progress of things for a government to get bigger and more powerful. What the United States did was we had a federal system where the states had a say in the government. We had a 10th Amendment to ensure that the roles of the states and the federal government would stay the way they are. Unfortunately, the 10th Amendment is being whittled away. The federal government is growing more and more powerful. The states are getting weaker and weaker. Eventually, something has to break. Eventually, one or two states will try to split away from the federal government because they're losing the power to operate their states efficiently. The federal government wants to be in charge of everything and wants to tell everybody how to live. The states don't want that. There's going to be a conflict. Local, city, state governments should be in charge of local, city, state issues. That's not what the federal government wants. The federal government wants to regulate everything and tell everyone how to live. Those people will use federal supremacy to control everybody below them to the point that we have one government, if we were to allow the federal government to do what it wants. Because local, city, and state governments won't let the federal government do whatever it wants, eventually that will lead to the conflict. It shouldn't be surprising, but that's just the way it's going to be. So yes, when people ask me, do you think we will have another civil conflict in the United States? The answer is an overwhelming and obvious yes.